makes it different? And like, what kept you here? Because everyone has choices. You can go wherever you want to go. Why are you here? Like, what makes it different?
I feel like it's just teachers are invested, like I'm invested in the children. And so once you see them in your particular grade level, you want to keep on seeing them in the next grade level, and you want to keep on talking to them and building that relationship and that bond. And I think that's why I've stuck through it, and I just want to really keep being in the lives of these children.
The thing that really stands out about Patrick is the relationships that you see in the building. Regardless whose classroom you walk into, you're going to see relationships that, you know, they're not just look good on the surface, but they have a lot of depth and meaning to them, and between teachers and students. And those relationships, they don't happen by accident or by chance. We're very intentional about building those relationships with our kids. And because of the strength of those relationships, I feel like we're able to best teach the kids not only what they need to know to be successful men and women in the world, but also what they need to know to be men and women that make a difference in the world, positively affect the world around them. And I mean, simply put, it's really, we don't not just focused on their minds, but their hearts as well. And that really, to me, you see that every day in this building.
What's the one thing, if you wanted a teacher to know something about you, what's the one thing you want teachers to know about, you wish they knew about you?
That sometimes I can be shy when I'm just starting the new school.
What do you wish the teacher would do when you're shy?
Have a little chat about my feelings.
Have a chat about your feelings? Why do you feel like that's so important to you?
So I can let everything inside me go out.
I see, okay, all right.
I love this school. I fell in love since the first day. And it's a great school for my kid, because it helped her a lot to develop, and she has been going from a low academic level to a high, and I'm very proud of her and the teachers that help her to achieve that.
What do you think the teachers did to help her achieve and get to those levels that you consider to be high?
They took time, personal time, and help her. Also, they give her extra attention, which it was the number one problem in the other school, that they didn't have that personal time with her to explain her step by step. And that's one of her struggles, that she doesn't get it on the first time.
When our students know that you really love them, you deeply care about them, well, for one, they give you that love back in return. It may be harder to get it from some than it is from others, but when they really know that, it's much, much easier to pull them out of those crisis points. You know, just pull them aside and talk to them. I just tell them, like, man, I care about you, I love you, and like, is it mutual? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, then why are we doing this?
What are some soft skills that you feel are necessary in order to be an effective teacher and an effective relationship builder?
Well, I think definitely humor. Humor is a great quality to have when you're dealing with a lot of children, and if some students are stressed or they have a bad day, then that humor is the one that's going to help them smile and get through that day. And that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember, are you a strict teacher or a funny teacher? And I think that's a good quality to have. Some of the students that I've had always tell me, like, I've always heard them say, you're quite funny, and I love it because I am funny. You don't get to see it because I'm kind of quiet. But in the classroom, then you can just go crazy. That's your time to just be yourself and maybe even come out of your shell if you're kind of like the quiet ones like me, but in the classroom you're just an explosion, and then the kids love it. So humor, commitment is another one. Be expected to be committed to these children, no matter if they're behaving, if they're having a good day or if they're having a bad day. I feel like that's the time that you have to be committed to them, and to that way you're going to get the best out of them. So humor, commitment, and what would be another good quality to have? Persistence. Just be persistent with them and keep pushing them to have high expectations of themselves and to have good self-esteem, and then that's where you're going to see the growth. It's going to be more about the building relationships and seeing that, you know, you're there to make a difference in the children's lives. And so I feel like that's the most important. Build that bond with your students and relationship with the students above all.
I just take time out to really invest in them and get to know them and make sure I always greet them positive with them. And I'm tough on them. I have a lot of discipline with them and hold them accountable to a high standard, but at the same time, they like to meet that, and they're okay with me being tough because they know that love is there. We're not just focused on the mind, the knowledge, the content area, the content that they need to get to be successful in the world, but really trying to build them into young men and women that are going to positively impact the world around them. And that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. To me, that part is more difficult than the content and the knowledge that they acquire. But that's something that we focus on, and I feel like that's not the case at a lot of schools, so it makes Patrick special in that sense.